देखिए दोस्तों, वर्ल्ड कप का ग्रुप स्टेजेस तो खत्म हो गया है। अब कोई सेकंड चांस नहीं है, यहाँ से कोई इजी रिकवरी नहीं है। यहाँ से नो चलो देखते हैं नेक्स्ट मैच वाला सीन खत्म हो गया है। अब एक खराब रात और आपका वर्ल्ड कप ओवर। ऑनेस्टली अभी से ये टूर्नामेंट कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट फील देगा लोगों को, बिकॉज राउंड ऑफ 32 में सिर्फ बिग गेम्स ही नहीं है। क्योंकि अगर आप देखोगे, ब्राजील, अर्जेंटीना, फ्रांस, स्पेन, पोर्चुगल, इन सब का जाना तो ऑलमोस्ट तय था। लेकिन अब उनके सामने जो भी टीम खेलेगी उनके लिए भी ये आसान गेम नहीं है, और ये बड़ी टीमों के लिए भी आसान गेम नहीं है। क्योंकि अगर आप सोचोगे, मोरक्को, सेनेगल, इक्वेडोर, कॉन्गो, बॉस्निया, इनके अगेंस्ट खेलना कोई लीग के 19वें या 20वें टीम के खेलने जैसे नहीं है। क्योंकि ये वो वर्ल्ड कप है जहां बिग टीम का नाम देखकर मैच का रिजल्ट आप अज्यूम नहीं कर सकते। This is the point where football's biggest nations realize one thing, that history gets into the stadium, but it does not win you the knockout games. वेलकम बैक टू पीएन प्लेबुक। आज हम ब्रेक डाउन करेंगे वर्ल्ड कप 2026 के राउंड ऑफ 32 की। फेवरेट्स कौन है, कौन प्रेशर में है, कौन सा मैच टर्निंग पॉइंट बन सकता है टूर्नामेंट का, और कौन सी टीम वर्ल्ड कप की बिगेस्ट शॉक क्रिएट कर सकती है। बिकॉज ग्रुप स्टेज वॉज द इंट्रोडक्शन, अब शुरू होता है असली वर्ल्ड कप। कनाडा ने तो टोन अपना सेट कर दिया। राउंड ऑफ 32 की स्टार्ट एक ब्यूटीफुल अंडरडॉग स्टोरी से हुई। होम नेशन कनाडा वर्सेस साउथ अफ्रीका, काफ़ी टाइट गेम था, और एग्जैक्टली वो काइंड ऑफ गेम जो नॉकआउट में हमेशा मिलेगा, क्योंकि एक मोमेंट पूरी हिस्ट्री चेंज कर सकता है। कनाडा स्कोर्ड वेरी लेट, 1-1 एंड दे आर through. So one of the home nations are through. For a country that had never won a men's World Cup game before this tournament, this is a massive result. और यही राउंड ऑफ 32 का मैसेज है। आपको 90 मिनट्स के लिए परफेक्ट नहीं होना होता, आपको एक मोमेंट में बेटर होना होता है। उनका तो एक क्लियरेंस, एक सेट पीस, एक फिनिश और एक मिस्टेक, एवरीथिंग जस्ट चेंज्ड फॉर कनाडा। Let's go to the next game, which is my favorite game actually, Netherlands versus Morocco. This is a प्योर फुटबॉल मैच इफ यू थिंक अबाउट इट, बिकॉज कोडी गैक्पो के साथ एक सिनेरियो हुआ है। ही इज अनफॉर्चुनेटली लॉस्ट हिज अनबॉर्न चाइल्ड, एंड एंटायर नेदरलैंड्स टीम एंड द फुटबॉलिंग कम्युनिटी इज विथ हिम, बट द नेदरलैंड्स टीम आर अंडर ट्रिमेंडस प्रेशर. They have looked smooth, confident, and very difficult to beat. They have goals, they have control, they have players who can hurt you in multiple positions. But Morocco as a team is not some romantic underdog here who are there to just clap and go. They are a proper football force. They made the semifinals in 2022. We all know about their defensive organization. We all know that they can hit you on counters. They have shown enough quality and discipline when they want to sit back and rise to big occasion. This game has just added another layer, because several Moroccan players were born in Netherlands, so there is an emotional angle to it as well. So it is not just a tactical game, it is personal, and it has the perfect World Cup feeling. Two teams who genuinely believe they can go much further. See, no one will be surprised if this ends up being one of the best games of the knockout stage. Moving on to the next team. The team to beat, France. Because when people ask what does the best team in the tournament look like, for many people the answer is France. Because Ryan Cherki, Olise, Mbappe, that attack is terrifying. They have depth almost every position. And unlike some past tournaments, France do not look like a collection of stars trying to figure it out. They look like a team who want to play football just to win. Their next test is Sweden, and we've already spoken about Sweden in the previous video, where we just say that Sweden is a team who can score 5 against you, or they are the team who will concede 5 out of nowhere. Because for Sweden, it is not just about making numbers. They're organized, they're physical, and they have enough quality to punish a team if France get careless. But France are now at a stage where expectations are changing amongst fans. They are not just title contenders anymore, they are the standard. Every team is looking at them and asking, can we hunt them? Can we stop that attack for 90 minutes and let's see what have they got? So that is another interesting game for everyone to watch. मेरे हिसाब से अगला मैच जो हम बात करेंगे, द नेक्स्ट मैच इज द मोस्ट हॉस्टाइल मैच इन द वर्ल्ड कप हिस्ट्री, विच विल बी मेक्सिको वर्सेस इक्वेडोर. Mexico versus Ecuador in Mexico City should be wild, because this is not some normal home advantage. This is the World Cup in Aztec. The noise, the pressure, the altitude, the emotion. Mexico will feel like they have the entire country behind them, and Ecuador will feel like the underdogs. But they're one of those teams which nobody wants to play because they're extremely aggressive, they're extremely physical, and they have shown that they can survive in very difficult conditions. And they have already shown that they are capable of hurting extremely stronger sides. But Mexico has that home advantage. Ecuador will have the belief that they can ruin the whole party. This is one of the matches where favorites could suddenly feel like the underdog in a matter of minute. अब आते हैं, इज इट कमिंग होम और इज इट नॉट? बिकॉज इंग्लैंड वर्सेस डीआर कॉन्गो, इट्स अ ट्रैप. On paper, England should get through because in England's World Cup story is never simple. There is enough talent. Harry Kane looks like the man in form. Jude Bellingham looks very solid. The coach is there. The pressure is there. The players are nicely warming up to the big tournament. England have had favorable draws in the previous tournament too. But favorable draw means nothing if you do not perform. DR Congo have honestly nothing to lose. They will fight, they will run like mad dogs, they will believe. And England know this better than anyone. The moment an underdog stays level for an hour, the pressure starts changing shirts. Suddenly, your favorite team is not playing football anymore, they are playing against fear. And England have to avoid exactly that. Let's move on to the next three matches, which is Spain, USA, and Portugal. Three completely different stories, but very interesting ones. USA have Bosnia Herzegovina, right? So as the hosts, USA have momentum, energy. They look like a team who want to go to the next stage, but expectation can become heavy very quickly. Pochettino, to be fair, has led the team very nicely. This is the first proper knockout pressure moment for them. And let's see how USA fare, because I think this game has got the potential to be a snooze fest because Bosnia don't play that well of football and USA are very attacking. So if Bosnia hold on, it could be trouble for USA. Spain against Austria is another fascinating time because Spain obviously control the game much better and they have people like Yamal who just run through the opposition. But Austria are the kind of team who can turn possession into frustration because Ralph Ragnick has made a team who can run, they press, they make you uncomfortable. And it's a kind of a cagey game, so it depends on who comes on top in the sense of controlling the game. So Spain might control the game and Austria might just sneak in here or there, but you never know. Then comes Bade Bhaiya, Portugal versus Croatia. This is pure football nostalgia, to be honest with you. There are two teams who are at two opposite ends of the spectrum. Portugal were so-called favorites, but they have not played like favorites in the tournament at all. They barely made it to round of 32, and we all know that finishing second is not something which Cristiano Ronaldo and his team like. And they are playing against Luka Modric's Croatia, who are old but experienced. So it's Modric against Ronaldo, two absolute legends, two players who have already given everything to the world of football. But now, possibly, one of them is going to say goodbye to a World Cup final. And these matches are never about age or emotion. They are about who can still deliver when the entire world is still watching. It's going to be a close game, and Portugal have not looked like a team who can beat the big boys. And Croatia, when I looked at Croatia playing, I just looked at it and said they're too old now and they don't have the pace in them. But interesting days. The final days are here because there are certain set of teams who I really want to speak about. One team is Messi, Argentina, Cape Verde, Colombia, and Ghana. So for Argentina, they have Cape Verde. And let's be honest, right? This World Cup is all about Messi magic. I mean, Argentina are still Argentina. They have Lionel Messi. They have belief that man is defying age. They have the confidence of champions. And Messi somehow is still creating moments that look like a joke in absolute football. But Cape Verde have become the team which everyone is honestly appreciating. And it's become the story of the tournament. Fearless, extremely united, organized. They're not supposed to be here, right? I mean, no one gave them a shot. But they're not supposed to be here, which is exactly why it makes them incredibly dangerous. Argentina have everything to lose, and Cape Verde have everything to gain. So it's a game of tactical brilliance and possibly one Messi magic, which can just take Argentina to the next level. Now comes Colombia versus Ghana. This could be chaos in the best possible way because Colombia have emotion, technique, flares, and players who really play every match is like their last match. Forget it's a final. They'll play like my life depends on it. Ghana have speed, power, and the ability to turn one transition into a goal. This is the kind of match where you do not want to blink because if you blink, someone will score. Now, we've previewed all the matches. So, what does this round actually mean? So, what is the big picture? For years, World Cup conversation has been simple: Europe versus South America. France, Spain, Germany, England, Portugal, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay. But this tournament is telling us something else. Africa is stronger, Asia is smarter, North America is really growing. The gap is not gone, but it is closing. Because in 15-20 years back time, no one would have said, you know what, Morocco can beat Netherlands, Senegal can hurt Belgium, Ecuador can silence Mexico City, Cape Verde can make Argentina extremely nervous. And that is why the round of 32 feels so exciting. It is not about asking who will win easily, it is about asking which giant is least prepared for a dogfight. Look, the group stage gave us enough stories. The knockout stage will give us scars. Some countries will go on to create history. Some legends may play their last World Cup match. Some favorites will survive, and some will find out that a famous shirt does not protect you from a fearless opponent. This is the first ever round of 32 at a World Cup. 32 teams, 16 games, 1 trophy. And from now onwards, every match is a final for a country. Tell me in your comments which team is likely to create the biggest upset according to you. Morocco over Netherlands, Ecuador over Mexico, Cape Verde over Argentina. Like and share and subscribe to PN Playbook because the World Cup is no longer building up, it has officially exploded. Thank you for watching the video.